Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OAF Discussions. I am your host, Kid Swift, along with
Thoroughbred Web.
What is up, everybody? Nice week last week. Thanks everybody for the comments and the ideas and stuff for this week's show. And from the comments and stuff from last week's awesome episode, the Star Wars episode. If you guys saw it, we had our buddy Shaggy Wallace on, and then of course Thoroughbred was on via Skype, and so was our brother Yellow Cool. But we are back for another week. Some more news shiznit has happened, of course, obviously. And one of the funny things that kind of like we talked about a little bit, touched on as far as the Jared Leto Joker character, we kind of touched on it. And
we really did.
And then we was like, we're not going to touch it. We're going to leave it alone. And then literally the day after the show aired, shit went up with the new, the supposed one of the looks. But yeah, we're going to get into that. But yeah, another week. And we're back at it. First off, though, we're going to get into just go through the kind of the whole rigmarole thing, the news-ish kind of stuff that happened. But yeah, I guess the first thing we can start with the Spider-Man stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys don't know, Spider-Man casting rumors have been a buzz for the past since Civil War was announced, and since they said that this amazing Spider-Man storyline was going to be coming to an end. So it's cool now because we're starting to get all these casting rumors, all these people that have been trying out for the role, and this back and forth like we talked about on the Miles Morales episode we had, where we talked about the potential of them going with that character. It looks like that's pretty much not going to happen,
Clearly.
which like what we said it multiple times. We knew that probably wasn't going to happen. But it seems like they've gotten pretty close. Marvel is getting pretty close to getting their new Peter Parker. And it's actually, I can't remember the actor's name, but it's the main Ender from from the Ender's Game. If you've seen that film, the young actor in that film is the lead as far as like in the front runner for the new Spider-Man, for playing Spider-Man and for playing Spider-Man going forward and for playing Spider-Man in Civil War and going on from there. Just like what they said, it's interesting because they said they wanted to go with a younger actor to portray a younger Peter Parker. He's 18, so he is on the younger side. They kind of wanted to take Peter Parker back to high school and go with this younger take on the character back to kind of like where it was. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's a good pick. I mean, the only thing I've seen him in is Ender's Game. I don't know if I think that's his only large production that he's been in, but I don't know anything else as far as his movies go. But I mean, I think he looks like he could easily be Peter Parker. But what do you think about it as far as like that character and where they're going? We were right.
Well, obviously, yeah,
yeah,
clearly.
we knew that, yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, you saw I got when just the comics, and it was and there's several different versions of Spider-Man.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
I digress.
Right.
Well, it's kind of weird now that you brought that to my attention. I should be on the ball with this. As far as the actor for Ender's Game, let me go and see what the hell is his name. I want to say it's hold on. Asa Butterfield.
But yeah, he's got a super British name. It's crazy.
I don't even know if I pronounced that first name correctly, but all right then. So yeah, there's that. He was kind of, small in Ender's Game, but
yeah, he was.
I mean, for obvious reasons, because that was child soldiers, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, if we're gonna, yeah, he might.
If we're going back to the,
I mean, yeah. How do you just? I'm still. You can tell I'm still a little hurt about Miles Morales. Not really, but
I would love to have that.
That'd have been awesome,
but
but that's not gonna happen.
Right,
No. As far as him, sure.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, we've already seen Tobey Maguire. There was a shitstorm when he was first cast as Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then when Andrew Garfield got cast as Spider-Man, then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, but Tobey Maguire was so fucking cool. It's like, shut up.
Right. Yeah. It's like you didn't say that at first.
So this third one, who was?
And I really like, and it's funny because like I really liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man too. I thought he was really good. He played that kind of like the comedic side of it really, really well.
Yeah, I keep saying, I've said it a bunch of times, probably way too many times on the podcast. Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire was a better Peter Parker
Right.
than Andrew Garfield.
Right.
So there's that. So
Yeah.
hopefully if Cumberbatch, Butterfield.
Yeah, he's super British. He's British as hell.
So if Butterfield can kind of find a happy balance between those two, then
Right.
I'm all for it. So
Right,
I'm all for a new Spider-Man movie anyway.
Yeah,
Regardless.
definitely. Yeah.
Point blank.
And especially having him in the mix with these other comic book characters like he was in this storyline, which is a huge
Which would have
storyline.
been nice, if they replaced him with Black Panther, but
Right, yeah. That's what we thought was going to happen, but whatever. We kind of figured the same thing. We figured that wasn't going to happen. Really happened. But the nice thing is, on the other side of it, still saying on Civil War, another thing coming out of that whole film is the fact that, and I always mess his name up too because I always want to call him Scott. His last name's Scott, but his last name's not Scott. But the guy that played Daredevil in the Netflix show, not obviously the
Michael
movie.
Cox.
Yeah, say what?
Michael Cox.
Yeah, Michael Cox. He actually has expressed interest and actually wants Daredevil to make appearance or be in Civil War in some form or
Whether it's
fashion.
a cameo or
Whether cameo. And I started to think, like, at first I was like, that's going to load down. But I mean, this storyline requires a lot of big characters. That's one of the main things about it. But the interesting thing is, I started to think about it, and I was like, how could they incorporate him without, like, clogging up the screen? And I was like, a lot of Civil War has to deal with, like, this.
I said Michael Cox.
What is
Charlie
it?
Cox.
Charlie
I'm tripping.
Cox.
Wow.
I didn't even realize that.
I have football in the brain. I'm sorry, y'all.
I didn't even realize that. I wasn't thinking about it.
I'm sorry. I have football in the brain. Charlie Cox. There we go.
Charlie Cox. Okay. So Charlie Cox wants to be in Civil War. And I was thinking with the whole political intrigue and basically the government trying to put these mandates on the superheroes kind of thing, it would be interesting even if he showed up in the aspect of like a lawyer or something during all this like mess. Like that kind of would be cool. Even just like something as simple as that, I think a lot of people will be fine with. Because people are going to be fine with the amount of superheroes that are going to get thrown at them. You're going to be good with the superheroes. Like you're going to get your fill, period. But yeah, just to do something like that would be awesome, just to kind of further push forward that fact that the MCU as a whole is completely connected. But yeah, I mean, that would be cool. I think that'd be awesome.
That'd be nice. That'd be neat. Yeah.
I
mean, even if it's just like a post-credits scene.
Yeah, even something like that.
As pointless as those scenes have been getting lately.
Right, yeah, they've become more and more just whatever. Like, you didn't even really need to do that. But, and then also another thing that Charlie Cox expressed interest is he wants the Punisher to be in the second season of Daredevil. Yeah. Which I thought was interesting. Because, like, a lot of people I've talked to are, like, really surprised that, what's his name? Was it Bullseye? What's his name?
You're talking about the scene... Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Be careful.
You talking about the scene with the shot?
Yeah.
Shots being taken.
Yeah. A lot of people were surprised, like, that he wasn't in there more, kind of like in your face in the first season. And I was like,
and that's who's to say that actually was him though? Right.
So. Yeah. That's kind of the thing. Yeah, is if that the Easter eggs, because I mean there were a few good Easter eggs in that first season of Daredevil, but a lot of people I've been talking to about the show just in general were kind of surprised that he wasn't more prevalent in the first season. But I was like, you kind of gotta let him get their feet underneath them, get the wheels turning, and then we'll start to see like all these other people, Elektra, and then all these other characters in there too. But yeah, this was kind of the test bed, so you just need like
the world building season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which it did a good job of doing that.
Hell of a good job.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. Just that like the Punisher thing, because I was like, man, you think he would have said somebody else first, but I guess that makes sense because he does play a big role in some of the comics as far as between Daredevil
and it's more like there's different levels to the Marvel heroes.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Avengers is like global. Daredevil, Punisher, to an extent Moon Knight, and you know folks like that. They're like the street level.
Right. Yeah.
And Luke Cage and Jessica, the Defenders basically. They're basically going to be street level,
right?
Compared to Avengers world level. So,
right.
That makes sense. You know, to have a more grounded character to be introduced into the second season, maybe to kind of play off of that whole world building a little bit more.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said it twice on 2 different subjects.
It's like they're doing everything like good to a point where it's like, okay, until y'all fuck up, we won't have anything really like negative or like critical. We really can't say much because it's they're doing it right. So we're like, okay, yeah, if you want to do this, if these ideas that are kind of get tossed around, cool. As fans of the comics, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like you guys could pull it off. Proceed. That's kind of the way I think like now, which is a good place to be instead of like, oh God, don't let them do that, or oh, I don't want them to touch that because they mucked up this. But yeah, at least we don't have to worry about that shit because that would be one. But yeah, and then back on the Avengers side, kind of going back into the film, bouncing back and forth between the film and the TV universe. Obviously, if you guys don't know, by the time you guys are seeing this episode, Avengers will be out. Actually comes out
May 1st.
May 1st.
On my birthday.
Yep.
Happy birthday to me. It never fails.
Always gets the best movies on his fucking birthday. Batman, fucking Dark Knight. Dark Knight came out on your birthday because we went to see it.
Wait. No, Dark Knight came out on somebody else's birthday.
It was my girlfriend's birthday.
Yeah, it was.
That's right. It was.
I think Iron Man came out.
It was July 18th.
Yeah,
it was the weekend of July 18th. It was Batman came out. You had something else. I think it was Iron Man.
It was probably 1 or 2.
You've had like
probably all 3 of the Iron Man.
Right? Honestly. Yeah, you got like all of them because all of them came out in May, didn't they?
Most. I
think so. Yeah. So you got those.
Yeah, if it wasn't directly on my birthday, it was almost always that weekend.
Yeah, so. Right. It was always around that same time. But yeah, if you guys don't know, obviously you probably are running out to see it. Avengers is out when you guys see this episode, which is pretty awesome. I know I'm excited. Yeah. It was funny because one of the apps that I use on my phone that will remain unnamed because it is not exactly legal is they popped up a cam version, and me and Shaggy Wallace were actually talking about this. Shaggy Wallace, who was on last week's Star Wars episode, we're talking about this earlier. They put a cam version on that app, movie version.
You said cam version.
Cam, like cam in the theater, like taping the screen type thing.
Killer cam?
Yeah, they had a Camron version.
Dipset edition of Avengers,
where all the Avengers are placed by old Dipset members,
all wearing pink.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. But yeah, we were talking about that.
I'm fighting Ultron. I got my Ultron. Say, stop rhyming the same word with the same word. Stop it. No.
You said you can't do that. Like, it's lazy. Like, come on, dude.
Do you want some bubble gum? I forgot about that skit. God. Anyway, I'm sorry.
It's fucking Dipset. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. But yeah, so it was funny because he said he watched like the first 10 minutes of it, and he said it was terrible quality wise.
I'm sure.
Which I was like, okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Like somebody just in the aisles just kind of
right here taping underneath their coat. Their coat keeps falling in front of the camera. Like, dude, this is garbage.
This in there chewing popcorn. It's like dust, like the crumbs in there falling right in front of the screen.
It was so funny because like he was like I don't know if it was the cam, the fact that it was the version, or he said the beginning of the movie didn't seem that interesting. I was like, hopefully we'll just link that up to the cam. Yeah. Got some spoilers for the first 10 minutes, but I don't want to give them away yet. He was telling me some stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it's funny. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I plan on...
yeah.
I think I'm going to watch the midnight showing. I did it for the first Avengers. I did it for the first Avengers just because I like that atmosphere. Like, everybody's geeking out to watch it. But at the same time, what's that?
I don't like being around that many people.
Yeah, there's that.
I like matinees on like a Tuesday after the big release at like 10 in the morning when it's just grandpa's there.
Another thing I don't like, I've kind of picked up on that I'm not a fan of. It kind of started happening once we saw Guardians of the Galaxy that first weekend. It's some folks that are kind of making a spectacle of themselves.
What, you mean like cosplaying in the theater?
No, not. I mean like not cosplaying or anything like that. But they kind of make jokes or laugh super hard or sit there just
over the top.
Drawing attention to themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Or sitting there trying to be so cool for sitting in front of their friends. It's like I'm trying. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch.
Right.
It's like. I noticed like
that's true.
It happened the most with Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was like, and with that same weekend, you could tell like everybody was kind of like, well, I don't know about Guardians of the Galaxy. Is it like is it gonna be their first flop? Nobody knows what's gonna happen with this one. It's such a wild card.
Yeah.
And I swear it was almost like they were paid by the Guardians of the Galaxy people.
It's by Marvel.
Show. Like, yeah, this
they
is
got
their making show.
sleepers
Like,
in the movie.
look how much fun we're having watching this.
Right?
You should be laughing too.
It's like, dude, are you kidding me right now? It's like, shut up.
And it's just like,
yeah, I've noticed that too. That's why I'm telling you, man.
And that's where, you know, I don't know if this is the best option to go for. Like, should I do this or should I wait till, like, hell, I got the day off. Stomach problem, sickness.
Right, yeah.
Calling that in advance, just so you know. So I got the day off. I'm thinking, like, you know what? Maybe I should watch it in, like, the afternoon, like as soon as they open or something.
Right. See, that's what I was thinking. Like that's usually my kind of go-to strategy on these big movies lately. Even if I'm by myself, which most of the time I don't have to be. But even if I'm by myself, like I'll pick like freaking Tuesday after release at like fucking 10 o'clock when the movie theater opens. And there's usually like some people there, obviously. Especially if it's something that releases in the summer, then you're pretty much fucked almost as much as you was the weekend, because people always have that same idea.
Or holidays.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like Christmas movies, you're fucked. So Star Wars, you're gonna be screwed. Yeah, just doing that, and then like there's like 4 other people in there, and they're like old, and it's awesome because they're quiet, and there's nobody. Like you can just sprawl out like you're in a big base of your own house. But yeah, I don't know if that'll probably be my strategy, because I doubt if I'll go Friday. What happened to the Wednesday shit? What happened to the Wednesday releases on these big movies? That used to be the thing. That was the thing for like a year. No, I thought that was like nationwide. Remember, like there was like it would be like the new Batman or something was coming out, or like some new big movie would come out, and it would be like it would premiere on like Wednesday at midnight.
I remember,
and then it would run like Thursday and Friday, huh?
They did that with Iron Man one time?
Yeah, they did it with Iron Man. They did it with like the Pirates movies. I remember like one of the like still good ones. They did it with the Harry Potters. I remember they did it with like the last couple Harry Potter movies. I remember that. They like premiered them like it was basically like midnight Wednesday was like the release, and then it ran Thursday, Friday on through, obviously from then on.
Maybe that probably skews with the box office numbers. I don't know. Maybe because the last time I remember that happening, like I just said, Iron Man. So backtrack how long that was.
Right.
And that was when I was still working in the theaters and stuff. So so now I'm kind of out the loop on that.
Like I thought that was going to be like the thing, but it just kind of like it went away, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
I get a feeling that's probably because of the box office. I don't know when they start doing their numbers, but I think they just want to like look at our weekend. Like, check how we did it. Yeah.
Right. So, apparently, it's killing
in
overseas.
Just 3 days.
Apparently, it's killing overseas. That's what I've heard. In like Asia.
You sound surprised.
No, I'm not, because usually those kind of movies, like Transformers, blows the fuck up.
How much you want to bet? We'll see. That also took place in China too, so they're trying to appeal to that billion people population.
Yeah, right. Oh God, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there's probably
your install base.
I'm willing to put money on it that there is a scene in Avengers that takes place in or around China.
I know there's probably like some kind of overseas scene, because I feel like the scene, the Hulkbuster scene, I feel like doesn't happen in New York.
Look like the Middle East.
Yeah, I feel like it's somewhere else. Like he goes off.
It's very brown.
Yeah,
wait,
right.
That came out wrong.
That's bad.
The tone, the lighting, it looked kind of sepia.
It's very brown. Jesus.
Oh
God, it's funny. Yeah, that was close. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, please God, don't let it be set in the Middle East, because that'll make it even worse. No, but just like that, it seems like that's kind of what they're doing. I mean, they got that install base, so they know what the hell they're doing, targeting that market. But yeah, Avengers will be out. It's awesome. More comic book movies. I mean, can't go wrong with that.
That's all we talk about. I mean, for the next couple months.
Right? Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have.
So buckle up.
Next week.
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts. Next week we'll definitely have a show talking about Avengers. Because I know I gotta see it.
Clearly.
Yeah. So we'll blow that up. So hopefully everybody go see it. Support the damn comic book movies. That way you can come back here and we can talk about it without spoiling the shit out of it for you guys next week. But yeah, so moving on.
Well, I mean, do you want to just go ahead and get the obvious out the way?
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Okay, let's just go ahead and get the obvious out the way. As we just mentioned before. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
As we just mentioned before, Whenever we'd sit there and do a show, almost immediately, almost the hour after we get through recording or the day after, something big happens.
It's like a podcast curse. I've heard like many different like shows say the same thing. Like literally they'll do a show and then all the news happens. Like if they record a show on Wednesday like we do, all the news happens on Thursday and Friday. It's just like when we did the Star Wars thing. The Star Wars fucking celebration wasn't until Thursday and Friday. So we were screwed. We went into that knowing we were screwed. This most of the time it's blindside. You just get hit and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways.
So this bit of news, we were blindsided. So this weekend, I'm pretty sure you've already seen it. The photo regarding Jared Leto as Joker. First poster, just showing the Joker in all of his what looks like punk rock glory.
Right.
It's not even like a movie poster or anything of that nature. It doesn't show like the film title,
right?
Release
Yeah.
Date or anything.
It's just
like
like a high quality picture.
Yeah. So it's nothing like Why So Serious when Ledger was dressed as Joker. Mm-hmm. Even then, you still couldn't get to see his look or his face.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, so there we have it. Jared Leto, first picture revealed as the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
I like it because now there's some stuff I like about it, stuff I don't like about it.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Everybody's like, ah! Now, there's some stuff I do. Now, I'll shout out to Haley, who I work with.
No code name for her?
No, just Haley. But yeah, she's one of the people, friend of the show. She loves it. And her point, because I thought we were going to get her on here on Skype, but since she's not, her point that we were talking about this at work, because she's like said she's been trying to defend herself why she likes it, and one of her main points was it plays very well with the way Harley is starting to look in the comics presently. So we can only imagine how Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn's gonna look. But the Joker that like now they're also on the other hand there are like a lot of different posts all over the internet and stuff that's saying this isn't the real look. This isn't like the full-fledged look. A lot of it might have been exaggerated for the sake of, hey, this is kind of like a reveal thing, i.e. some of the tattoos, that kind of shit.
Obviously.
Right, the forehead thing. Yeah, that's weird. The main thing that I don't like about it that I hope is not actually in it, but I've got like some theories and like possibilities of a way they could pull it off, just in general, is the grill. Or the teeth, like the silver platinum like teeth grill. It's like a grill basically.
You see the meme for it?
No.
He was on the cover of Cash Money Records.
Really? Oh my god. No, I did not see that. But that's one of the only things I'm kind of like, ugh. That was the only thing I looked at and I was like, fuck, really? And then like the rest of it I was like, okay, cool. But as far as like theories that I had, or like something where they could kind of like pull it off still and do their own thing, kind of do it how they want to, is keep it how it is, but here's how you get around it and kind of get rid of the people that are like pissed off about it, but at the same time keep that look, but then get to make people like it even more on the backhand, is you just leave it how it is, and then what you do is like a lot of people are speculating that it's gonna like this is gonna be the start of the movie, but like I kind of like embellished on it. But you start the movie off, you see like you don't see his face, you don't see Leto's face, you just kind of hear him talking. And then you hear Harley talking, and they're having a conversation. Harley's like sitting in front of him, and she's just kind of like sitting with him, and he's kind of like talking like about whatever plans or whatever. And she's drawing these tattoos on her. They're not real. She's like drawing them on there. So like she's like going through like drawing, and she's like saying like Mr. B. Hopefully, if she does that, I'll freak out. Mr. J. I'll freak the fuck out. But she's like talking to him, drawing on there, and like she gets to a point where like, and like slowly you start to see it like circle around them. You still don't see the face, but then like she's drawing them, and then she like messes up, and then like he kind of like snaps on her, kind of like the way he did, kind of like you saw in the cartoons, and even in like especially in like the game where he's kind of like he snaps on and gets mad at her because she messed up, and then he kind of like smears it, and then he puts on like the shirt, he puts on the purple coat, and then you kind of get that first like pan up reveal of him, and then like Harley's behind him, and he like slicks his hair back or something, and it fucking rolls from there, or something along those lines, where you kind of get a chance. Now the other thing that kind of Shaggy Wallace, he actually kind of came up with this, which was pretty cool. As far as like, that's a way you can get rid of the tattoos. If people don't like the tattoos, that's how you kind of get rid of the tattoos. Because if you think about it, if he's gonna have that coat on most of the time, or his clothes on most of the time, he always is dressed in somewhat of a formal suit. Always. So that's the way he needs to look. He needs to have that suit on, is a big thing about it. And one of the things, kind of like to get rid of the grill, it's like he always had the chattering teeth, like on the thing. So what Shaggy Wallace basically said is like, it'd be funny if like he fucks somebody up, or like is beating somebody up, or like scares the shit out of somebody, and then he pulls it out and throws it on the ground, and it kind of lands like broken, like some chattering teeth. And that's kind of like the start too. You see him kind of like basically shed these like fake parts of his costume, almost as kind of like Jared Leto's kind of like poke at the audience, and then like the movie's like, haha, you guys were freaking out over nothing. It's not even a real part of the costume, and then it kind of just rolls from there. And then everybody's like, oh, he's Joker. Ah! Then everybody freaks out. And then we have this debate on whether he's as good as Heath down the road. Because that'll be a fucking episode down the road, because everybody hates it now. And I know Jared Leto's capable of on the acting side, but if he can pull it off, I have no doubt in my mind he can pull it off as far as like on the acting level. But it's just a matter of, is he going to be able to capture that character? Because everybody knows Jared Leto's a beast of a fucking actor. But it's a matter of if he's going to be able to capture that character in his own way that works. Because that's what Heath did so good. He did the character that we love, but he did it in his own way, but it still worked perfectly. Like, flawlessly. So that's going to be his biggest challenge. Because the biggest thing when I said initially when I saw it, I was kind of like a shock moment with the teeth. The tattoos didn't bother me really. Because I'm like, first thing I thought, he's going to have clothes on. What the fuck does it matter? I kind of like blanked that out. But the main thing that made me say I like this is because it's as far left field away from Heath Ledger's Joker as he could possibly get. Without being the Riddler. Without being a wholly different character. But what do you think of it when you first saw it? Because I definitely wanted to hear what you think. Because that was the first thing I thought about when I saw it.
I don't have a problem with the picture.
We just broke the internet. I need to get that sound effect.
For the most part, I don't think a lot of those tattoos are real to begin with. It's obviously, especially the one on the forehead.
Yeah.
What was it? Disturbed? Is that what it said?
Yeah, Disturbed. There's no way.
No, absolutely not. Hell, let me sit there and try to pull up some information for y'all right quick. No, never mind. I'll just go ahead. Fuck it, I'll do it live. I don't have a problem with the picture. The only gripe that I got is the forehead tattoo, and as I just said, a lot of the tattoos I don't think are actually there. They're just there for the sake of promotion. I would like the one on his forearm though, with the Cheshire Cat. No, the one, it was like a huge smile.
Oh yeah, that was.
I would love if he actually kept that. If he doesn't have any of the tattoos in the movie, but could only keep one, I would rather it be the one on the forearm. It served its purpose. As I just mentioned last week, how he keeps like little by little, the mic over, how he keeps little by little showing details into his little, or step by step into his transformation. And then for last week to show like boom, like just a huge leap forward compared to the steps that he's been taking, the little baby steps that he was taking as far as the transformation.
Right, yeah.
I think that was more or less to jar people and more or less to get them, well, obviously it got people talking.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's that. I love that it is not a far cry. I love that it is a complete deviation from Jack Nicholson's Joker, from Heath Ledger's Joker,
right?
From what is his name from the Batman with Adam West? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, I let y'all down.
Yeah.
A complete deviation from there, and now that I think about it, it's kind of gone from like, as far as those live action depictions, it's gone from super formal. And little by little, it's getting a little bit more casual. I've noticed that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like with the costume from the '60s,
right?
It was super, like almost like
he was tight,
almost tuxedo.
Yeah.
And then with Nicholson, it's like almost tailored suit.
Right.
With Ledger, it's wrinkly, dingy looking business attire.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, granted, we're seeing a shirtless Joker. We've never seen a shirtless Joker in the live actions. Right. Obviously, he's not going to be doing that in this movie.
Right.
But it was just that was just in there as for shock value, if anything. I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna. I'm certain that he's gonna have a suit. But there's probably going to be an even more casual look towards that character or towards the costume for Suicide Squad. That also makes me wonder what Margot Robbie's going to look like as far as and at what stage are they in their relationship come time for this movie.
Right.
The teeth didn't really bother me so much. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, no, they didn't bother me so much.
No.
The only thing that bothered me was just that forehead tattoo.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is going to stay on there. I don't think a lot of those tattoos are going to stay on there. Right. I would like it if he kept the one on the forearm at least.
Yeah.
So he could sit there and just kind of like he may have killed somebody on the desk or underneath the desk.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that.
And he's just laying on
all
the
of a
desk.
sudden he sits there and comes up. And the forearm, or he comes up and the forearms right on the table first, and then all of a sudden he sits there and peeks out and he's gonna go like this.
That'd be nasty.
That'd be a nice little visual.
That'd be nasty.
That'd be a nice little visual.
Yeah.
But anyway, those are my points on there.
Yeah,
my opinion on it.
Then another speculation coming from the story on this, completely speculation. I thought it was interesting, but they think a lot of people think that we're gonna see Robin get killed.
Jason Todd?
Yeah, Jason Todd get killed by either in Batman vs. Superman by Joker or in what's the name? In Suicide Squad. I'm thinking more towards Batman vs. Superman.
Most likely.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, seeing as how old Batfleck is.
Right, yeah, absolutely. But that's what I'm thinking. That to me makes sense. But what do you think if they did that? Like in that you got that scene where he's like beating the shit out of him with that crowbar. From the comics.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That would depend on what.
If you don't know that's a hell of a story arc, by the way. If you guys don't, yeah, hell of a visual too. But yeah, I can see that kind of happening.
That would be interesting for them to play that part, seeing as how they've kind of they're showing an aged Batman now.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
Graying in the hair and all this, that, and the other.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's probably ran through. Whoa. Wait a minute. He's probably had his number of Robins, not ran through Robins.
Yeah, don't run through Robins. That's weird.
That came out wrong.
Don't do that.
So he's probably had his number. He's probably had Richard Grayson. I'm not saying Dick. Richard Grayson, Jason Todd, and then Tim Drake.
You know. Running through dicks. Running through Dick Grayson.
Oh God. Man! See, that's why I was trying to avoid that.
That was too easy.
So it's a very good chance that him looking as angsty as ever, staring into his costume in the trailer. Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's somebody that's kind of pained as far as a loss regarding.
See, that's what I thought. Yeah, could this be that point that pushes him over the edge and kind of pushes him like? Where he just like snaps the hell off because
we don't need more origin stories. So
no, we're good. Like that's another big thing. Fuck, we gotta go. Let's go. Let's keep it moving because time is definitely like not on your side as far as like all these different actors and stuff. Like they age, they get sick of being stuck in the same contracts. We can't keep having these origin stories. Like we're about to start Spider-Man over again. Which for the third time, which in this case it's like, all right, cool, we got it. Now we had to start the Hulk over again. We technically
Edward Norton was alright.
Norton was alright. I liked him. It was a bunch of weird stuff that went down contractually that kind of fucked up the Edward Norton thing, which sucks. Which I heard about. It was like some stuff like basically Edward Norton didn't even know that all this shit was basically being handled between like the two financial or management groups between Edward Norton and Marvel, and then some shit got out of line, like basically like somebody said money numbers wasn't right, and Edward Norton was like, fuck, I thought we was gonna get that, what happened? And then basically he found out when he heard that what's the name had already got it. So that was kind of a fucked up thing. Yeah, like it was kind of like he was like, damn, I wanted to do it again, but apparently somebody above me or somebody that I pay to handle my contract stuff, my manager, my agent, didn't like the numbers, so I never got a chance to do it, which kind of sucks when shit like that happens. Because I liked Edward Norton, he was good.
Yeah.
But it's not. We had another origin story with that, which is cool. It worked out. It was good. I like those other ones. But now we've got Mark Ruffalo, and I don't think we're going to have another origin story. I think the origin story was the Avengers. That was the origin story, which in that case is cool. Like, we don't have time for origin stories anymore. Like, a lot of people know the source material, but where you've got it developed and how it fits in pieces, especially with Marvel, where you've got more pieces with the TV shows too. Yeah, a lot of people are only going to experience Marvel and DC through the movies. Some people might not never watch the TV shows. Some people may never see Arrow. Some people may never see Flash. Some people may never see Daredevil. But the main core fan base is here to take in every aspect, every piece of it. And they have literature background, like the comics and stuff that they're picking up this information on too. So you don't have to always. This is like open letter to Marvel and shit in DC, but you don't always have to like completely start over every time. Which I don't think the origin story with the new Spider-Man isn't going to be as heavy. It's going to be more along the lines of where Ruffalo was at when he first got into the Avengers. Like they don't have time in a 2.5 hour, maybe 3 hour movie to be like, okay, here's Spider-Man, here's him going to school. He likes Mary Jane. Fuck, he got bit by a spider. Okay, goddamn, where's Captain America at? Bring Cap in. All right, they're fighting now. It's like, dude, like, it's going to be stressful. Like, you've got to get that story right. And it's got to be spot on. That we know, obviously, at the end of the Avengers movie, which we will all see coming up this weekend, we know that it's going to end. It's going to have to end with, like, that's going to be the start of the split. Like, we know it has to happen that way. Like, it just has to. Like, even in the last, like, I could see the last, not even the last, like, post-credit thing, or the last, like, 5-10 minutes of just, like, somebody saying something angry and then, like, walking off, or, like, some little news clip of what the government plans on doing with superheroes. Like, I feel like this is going to be something that's going to develop with the Ultron storyline. Like, fuck, this is getting out of hand. There's all these robots flying around and shit. Like, we need to get this shit under control. And you're going to kind of see hints of it, and then I can see, like, the last 30 minutes, them, like, being at each other's neck, and then we just see that last split, that break, that over-the-edge push at the end of Avengers, Age of Ultron, and then that's going to set up completely Civil War, and then we'll go from there. That's the way I could see it happen. That's what makes sense. But if they do it like that, it's the question, but I'm pretty positive that's exactly what's going to happen. Because they don't, like I said, they don't have time, especially with a movie that's going to have as many characters in it as that next one. That's going to be insane. Like, we already know all the regular events. Like, well, a lot of the Avengers are going to be in Civil War. But then you got to squeeze in.
Infinity War.
You got to squeeze in that. You got Spider-Man. We know it's going to be there. We know Scarlet Witch is going to be in there. Like, this shit has been confirmed. So you got all these pieces. It's fucking all over the place. But yeah, so craziness. The Avengers. Good lord. It's a good time to be a fan of the comic books. As we always say. We're gonna actually, something just popped up. I want to talk about it real quick. Okay. Because it literally just popped up. I brought it up and it popped up on the newsfeed. But apparently, so if you guys haven't heard, the 21 Jump Street, if you watch 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, great movies.
The movies.
The movies,
not the TV show.
Not the old ass TV show. But if you've seen those, you probably like them. They're funny. They're good movies. But there was this rumor going around that they were going to have a crossover with Men in Black. It's been confirmed that it's happening. That's going to happen. So you're going to have a crossover between 21 Jump Street. So you're going to have Channing Tatum and
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, my bad. I almost said Shia LaBeouf. That was weird. I don't know where that came from. And Jonah Hill with Will Smith and fucking presumably Will Smith and what is his name?
Is it not Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, that's it. Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about his replacement.
No.
Josh Brolin in the third movie.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see with that. Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, so there's gonna be a crossover between those and between that and Men in Black. Gee, God, I can only imagine. Like, there's so much potential in it. Because, I mean, we know that the Men in Black exist in the same... They just exist in regular Earth universe. So they can basically tie into any of these. Basically anything, pretty much. So, I mean, I could see it easily. Like, there'd be some case that they're going after the 22 Jump Street guys, and then it gets a little weird. Weird. And then all of a sudden, the Men in Black guys pop up in there on, like, the same case, and then like, fuck, we gotta work together type shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be strange, but
that ain't
there's
jumping the
so
shark.
much comedic potential there that it could be awesome.
Yeah.
They also announced, too, that apparently they're gonna do a crossover, well, not a crossover, but a spin-off where there's going to be another 21 Jump Street, but it's going to be 2 female lead characters. So, yeah. Just some news. Throw it out there. What do you guys think? Post in the comments. Men in Black coming back again.
I don't know,
Jesus.
man. I don't know how it's going to work, especially because what are they going to do with the rating? Because the 21 Jump Street series is rated R. Men in Black has always been PG-13.
They're going to have to push it up.
They're going to have to... Or...
It's unclear whether or not Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones or Josh Brolin would reprise their Men in Black roles for the film. They have to. They have to. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be crazy. Oh, okay. Apparently, the people that they're trying to get for the female version of 22 Jump Street is the girls from Broad City, the Comedy Central show.
Huh.
You know what I'm talking about? Those two girls? Yeah. Where what's the name was on there playing the dentist. I'm about to get these molars out for my people.
Well, Hannibal Buress, yeah. You know what?
I'm about to get these molars.
I'm sorry that I knew the black guy that played a bit role in Broad City, but I don't know the main leads in Broad City.
Oh, he's so funny. God, he's hilarious. Yeah. I'm about to get these molars out for my people. But yeah, so
quirky,
interesting.
Comedians. With 2 N's. You seen Garfunkel and Oates?
No.
Okay.
That sounds awesome. What is that? What is it?
It's a show that's on IFC, Independent Film Channel.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been catching it on Netflix. I've been watching the first a couple episodes. And it ain't for everybody. I'll say that much. It's quirky.
True.
It's very quirky.
Nice.
And if you can get past
the
quirkiness, it's kind of funny. You know, it's something that can hold me over. That I've been trying to hold over. Or have me hold over for. That didn't sound right. Something that was trying to hold me over until I watched Daredevil again.
Right. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny. I just gave it. All right, let's see what this is about. Because of the title, Garfunkel and Oates. It was like, what the hell? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Give it a shot.
Check it out.
See what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, lastly, I guess the last bit of kind of like news or whatever that we wanted to kind of talk about was they revealed it was it's something simple. This is usually kind of like some kind of passe type shit, I guess you could say. But the set photos for X-Men Apocalypse. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, set photos from X-Men Apocalypse. So we got to see Nightcrawler for the first time. We got to see Jean and Cyclops for the first time, and we got to see Jubilee for the first time. In costume on set. They were kind of like they were like Twitter pictures taken with somebody's phone on set. But they look, especially the Jubilee character, the Jubilee and the Nightcrawler character look like fucking spot on. They were spot on. Like Jubilee's outfit is the exact outfit basically that she wore in the comics.
And it makes sense for those shorts, costumes to be in the 80s.
Right.
For this to take place in the 80s, it makes sense for them to have those outfits too.
Yeah. So far just from those set photos, it's looking good.
Complaining, why does Nightcrawler look emo? Fucking Nightcrawler's been emo. What are you talking about?
He's literally like dark.
And even then, if it took place in the 80s, and that's an 80s dude. That's not an emo thing.
Right.
As far as, like good Charlotte Panic at the Disco type motherfuckers.
Right,
no.
yeah, it's not that emo.
It's not that type of emo.
This is like the Ramones.
or Tears for Fears type shit. It's like God, if Shout ain't on there,
it's gotta be.
If it ain't in the soundtrack, I'm gonna be upset.
God, that was one of the best things about.
Anyway,
that was one of the best things about Guardians. Was that soundtrack? Yeah, absolutely.
Because it got the old folks to sit there and want to see something new,
exactly,
and it got the new people feeling all nostalgic and wanting to sit there.
Yeah,
so look how quirky we are.
Yeah.
Because we're around your age range and we're hipsters.
It worked.
And yeah, clearly, the fucking nerds that I had to watch it with, or watch it, in the same theater as me. This is funny, y'all.
He said, God dang it, nerd! He said, God dang it.
They get me. I'm clearly the correct demographic for this movie.
It's like, God dang it. It's like, dude, it's not that serious. But yeah.
Shit ain't that deep, bro.
Right. Yeah. It's levels to the shit. If you can hear somebody talking, it's like real loud above me.
Well, we're almost done, ain't we?
Yeah, we're almost done. Yeah. One last thing I wanted to touch on, just to get your kind of just thoughts. This is far out. We're not even there yet, but one of the things, like with the whole MCU, the DCU, I guess that works.
Yeah. You can't say DC's. Oh well.
Right. No.
Yeah. DCCU.
Actually, I'm gonna save that what I was gonna say because it's far off. We'll wait. But I'll bring up this. It's kind of more of a funny thing. It's not really a funny thing, but it's kind of like a what the hell thing. Why the hell don't we know who's going to play Green Lantern yet? Do you think it's because they can't decide if they're going to do Hal Jordan or John Stewart, or do you think they generally just can't fucking find somebody to play Green Lantern? Like, how do we know everybody?
They're probably mulling over that right now.
That makes... I don't understand. Like, why is that particular... Like, I feel like Cyborg would have took the longest. They knew Cyborg, like, from the jump. And the dude didn't even know that he was getting his own movie. And he found it out like we did. That's the crazy thing. Like, I don't understand. It's just weird to me that particularly Green Lantern, I guess because he's the only one that's had his own movie, maybe? Of the other characters in the Justice League besides Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, how do we want to approach this?
How do we wash that taste out your mouth?
I get that's the only thing I can think of that they're trying to do. Yeah. I like the idea that they would like be mulling over whether they want to do John Stewart or Hal Jordan, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably do Hal.
It's probably Hal Jordan or Kyle Rayner or some shit like that.
Yeah, true. But God, in the cartoon it was John
Guy
Stewart.
Gardner.
It was John Stewart in the cartoon.
In the yeah, for Justice League, yeah. But
I still want
Martian. Super Friends was before that. Yeah,
it's true.
Hal Jordan was in that.
Yeah, so. I'm still not gonna be completely happy until Martian Manhunter is in Justice League.
That would be dope.
God, so
Jimon Hansu.
Dude, it's like we've seen the Vision. We're gonna see Doctor Strange. Put them two together, they're basically fucking Martian Manhunter. We know you have the technology to do it. Just do it. But I like that character. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But yeah, that's all.
That's all we can do.
Yeah,
wait and see.
Right. Wait for it. But yeah. I think it wraps it up. Another week of our podcast. Our OAF discussions. But yeah, as always, guys, if you guys want to get at us, we've got OAF discussions, has a Facebook group now, and please go over there and join, start discussions. We've had a lot of people commenting and talking and shit on there, and the last week's video did really good. Everybody, please continue to shoot me your subject ideas, whether you see me in person or the email. The email is oafdiscussions@gmail.com. The group is OAF Discussions Podcast on Facebook.
oafdiscussions.com.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on it. The website's acting stupid. Oh. It's pissing me off because I can't figure out what's wrong. I had it like built perfectly, and for some reason it just like goes to a white page now. I'm trying to fix it. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm trying to fix that. I'm still trying to bring... Yeah, we've still got it. We own that domain from here until infinity, so we own oafdiscussions.com. Because there's a bunch of weird like oaf.org forums like online, and they're like
marketing or
no, it's like something. It's like something like I feel like either Freemason or veteran related. I don't know. It's something weird.
I actually tried googling OAF discussions a while back when we were still doing when we were strictly doing audio.
Yeah,
and some crazy shit would sit there come up like conference calls and
it's strange stuff. Yeah. If you Google OAF discussions most of the time now, and all of our shit should populate most of the time. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, join the Facebook group, talk, comment, let us know what you think. Subscribe to the video, tell your friends about it. If you guys want to call in, that's another thing. It's a big thing. If you guys want to call in, comment on the topic. What I'm going to do from now on is on Wednesdays, like during the day, I'm going to put basically a video, a link with the video from the previous week on there, and then I'm going to put the topics for the current week. Because we always record on Wednesdays, the show goes up on Friday. So if you guys want to call in, comment, talk to us, be on the show the whole time, whatever you want to do, go on Skype, add oaf.discussions on Skype, friend us, drop me a message on there so I know who it is. Most of the time I should know who you guys are. But yeah, if you guys want to talk and be on the show, just let us know. It's no problem at all. But yeah, as for always, another week of nerdiness. We are getting closer and closer and closer to E3 coming up. We got all these awesome movies coming out. We're gonna do a live. I'm gonna do something. We're gonna do something big, like live wise, as far as like where you can watch it as it happens, and basically watch the live show, the E3 show, press conferences and stuff with us, with OAF discussions, where we'll watch the press conferences together and we'll talk about it. It'll be on camera, whatever. But yeah, that's coming up. So if you guys want to go ahead and start getting your E3 prediction stuff in, let us know what you guys are looking forward to, all that good stuff. But yeah, as always, I'm Kid Swift.
This is Thoroughbred Web.
We'll see you guys next week. Peace.